time factor.
Yes.
Is it possible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to decree that human beings will establish justice at a specific time by manipulating the necessary factors without impeding our free will? Or is this impossible? Are there any Shia theologians who believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make us individually or socially do certain actions at a specific time without impeding on our free will by manipulating all the other factors that affect our free choice?
It is possible that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would plan things in the way that with your free will you do what He wants. But this is not the way He normally does things. But if a person declares a war to God or wants to challenge God, then it can happen. As we said in Aqaid, مَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. If someone wants to make a plot against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, against people, against truth, and this plan becomes something that would involve great harm and great loss, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make a counter plan, and that person with his plan and power and troops and means and free will would just do what would lead to his own destruction. But this is something that doesn't happen, often. This is for people who themselves put such risk and such, kind of danger in front of themselves by planning against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ.
The next question is about Ma'ad Jismani.
Yes.
You have explained that we believe in Ma'ad Jismani. What is Ma'ad Jismani exactly? Is it that our bodies will be resurrected on Judgment Day such that our physical bodies on earth will be reconstructed with the necessary matter, or that somehow the exact matter then that constituted our bodies will be used to reconstruct our bodies on Judgment Day? If it is the latter, then what happens if part of the substance of one person's dead body that has been scattered in the sea, for example, eaten by the fish, for example, has become, through the cycle of indirect consumption, part of the body of another person who then dies?
Yeah. We believe that Ma'ad, resurrection, is corporeal, is jismani. And this is very obvious from the Quran and Hadith, that we would not be resurrected only as spirits. We would have body, and therefore we would have physical pleasure and physical pain in addition to a spiritual pleasure and pain. For example, the Quran talks about eating and drinking and having fruits which are similar to the fruits of dunya. كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة كلما أوتوا بها من ثمرة قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل. Something like this maybe. I need to concentrate to remember the verse well. هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل. So if you are given something, a fruit like apple, can this be for a spirit without body? A spirit without body, what can do with fruit? What can it do with honey, with milk, with water, with trees? These are signs that we have body. But what type of body? Is it exactly like body in dunya? So here we don't know a lot. We know we have body. Some philosophers have the idea, like Mullah Sadra, that the body that we would have there would be lighter than the body that we have in dunya. But we would have certainly body. Now, the question of whether our worldly body would be resurrected so that we would be using the same body when we are on the Day of Judgment and then we go to heaven or hell, na'udhu billah. We say the main thing is that we would have body and we would have the same identity. But identity is caused by your spirit. So you don't need to have the same body so that you would be the same person. You have to have the same spirit. So if the same body is resurrected, that's fine. If part of the body is used and from that the whole body is produced, that is fine. And today, we know that scientifically it's possible to take someone's, for example, stem cells and make from this an entire body. The main thing is that there must be body and there must be the same spirit. But to be the same body, it's not important. Even in dunya, our body is changing. Every 6 years, our body changes except nervous system. Our skins, our organs would change. Cells die and are replaced. But we say it's the same person. Or if someone's hand is cut off and then there is hand transplantation, kidney transplantation, it's the same person. So if part of body is missed, we can produce the rest of body from the remaining part. And even if suppose totally the body is going to change, even this is not going to create a problem. Although this is just an if, because we know that at least part of body is going to remain. The focus should be on a spirit and having some kind of body, so that our experience of the hereafter would not be just spiritual, would be physical and spiritual.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Moving to the last question for the moment. Please, if anybody has any questions, send them so that we can take. But we have one question here. So the question is this: it's about eternal punishment for the vicious, proud, and stubborn. Now, what is the purpose of leaving someone suffer in hell eternally, even if they have become so vicious and proud that they don't accept any mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if this is the reality of their sins or their vicious reality? What is the purpose of leaving such evil people suffer eternally, since they will not change, and especially that some of them are asking to be destroyed or wish that they were dust, as we have in certain verses of the Quran? How can we really understand this?
Yeah. First of all, those who would have eternal punishment are not many. That is for very, very vicious people. Secondly, punishment is nothing based on contract that we can then change the contract, or something arbitrary. Punishment and reward are embodiment of the way we have acted and believed and behaved. So there are people that even in dunya they act like fire. They just burn people's hearts. They just annoy. They just hurt. You can only enjoy when people are hurt. With these people, you don't need to put them in fire. With these people, only your hidden, vicious, batin, vicious inner self needs to be exposed. يوم تبلى السرائر. Those hidden and inner qualities and characteristics will become manifest. So when someone is satanic and vicious, and then this has become manifest, you would see him like fire burning and annoying. There are people that actually, when they are put in hell, fire suffers from them. Fire complains. Because fire, if it is not caused by immoral actions, by a vicious person, is not a bad thing. For example, in dunya, is fire a bad thing? Fire is a creation of God. It can be good, it can be bad, according to your evaluation, but otherwise in itself is good. For you can be sometimes good, sometimes bad. Otherwise, fire is not bad. Fire of hell, if it was just like fire of dunya, it's not bad. But fire of hell is caused by people. وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. People are waqud. People are petrol. People produce fire. Sins produce fire. So, if someone has this quality as a permanent quality, then this becomes manifest. You would have embodiment of this. Quran very beautifully says, وَبُرَّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِلْغَاوِينَ. Hell just becomes bariz, just becomes obvious. Hell is not something that is created and then people come and are put in hell. People who are bad, actually they are themselves hell. And this just becomes manifest. Of course, then there can be added factors, especially when it comes to part of on the side of rahmah. Because I believe when it comes to heaven is more than embodiment of our actions. Our actions are not that good that can produce heaven that Allah has described. It's more than us. And this is why the Quran, when it comes to heaven, says that muttaqeen are led towards heaven. Siqa, they are led. And uzlifat al-jannatu lil-muttaqeen. Jannah is brought nearer, not burrazat. Uzlifat. Uzlifat means brought nearer. Burrazat means just became obvious. So I believe that when it comes to reward, our good actions are embodied, our good character is embodied, plus more, much more, much more. When it comes to punishment, it's our own bad action and bad character and bad qualities that become manifest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not make someone suffer more than what he or she has caused to himself or herself. Allah would not multiply the punishment. Man ja'a bis-sayyi'ah fala yujza illa mithlaha. So this is a brief explanation of the punishment and reward, and we hope that inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He has always been merciful with us and kind and forgiving, would show us His extra, unlimited, unconditional mercy inshallah when we are in greater need, and that is on the day of judgment inshallah.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We are coming near the end of today's session, and we don't want to overburden you. I think it's been a long week for you, but maybe we can perhaps go to doing the greetings with the rest of the students. So inshallah, we